I think a lot about who I would be if you took away every other outside influence and just looked at me. But in reality, it's impossible to be anyone without places and things and experiences, and especially other people, to help you decide what little bits of the world to decorate yourself with, and what parts to throw out. So here's me, with all the little pieces of my mosaic that have molded me this far. My name is Mallory Elizabeth Jeanette. Apparently my dad saw the name Mallory for the first time from that character on Family Ties and was determined to name his daughter that one day.
Mallory?
I'd almost rather die than do this.
I don't have a lot of particular others to fill my social identity. I'll favor quality over quantity every time when it comes to the people in my life. I guess it was that way from the start because I only have one brother. His name is Benjamin, but I've called him Benji for as long as I can remember. Love him to death, but I did kind of feel that absence of sisterhood as a kid. I found a substitute sister in my cousin Sarah.
Hey, bye to Sarah.
No, he was in the cave last time I saw him.
We only see each other a couple times a year, but she's always made me feel so safe and loved. The rest of my household consists of my parents, my dog Dewey, and my snail Whiskey. My other two closest human connections are with my two childhood best friends, Chloe and Reagan. We experienced youth on the same timeline and have pretty much been inseparable for years. I think they've had the greatest influence on the person I am today. We even got matching tattoos before we all moved to different states for college. I feel like my personal identity is always changing, but it's no doubt that I'm a visually creative person, and I have been since I was little. I love painting, especially with oil paints, and I love film and cinematography. I'm constantly recording bits of my life for fear of forgetting any of it. I love reading books, usually in my favorite chair. I get attached to material things, even though I know I shouldn't. My walls are filled with posters, movie tickets, photos, postcards, drawings. I even have a little spoon that my grandma gave me. So I guess that makes me a sappy, sentimental maximalist. As far as my style, it's usually things you might see an old person wearing, especially jackets. I love a good jacket. Societal stereotypes and generalizations have had an influence on my life and cultural identity, as they have everyone else's. It's pretty inescapable. I struggled a lot with accepting my sexuality and gender expression because of those generalizations. It's hard to realize that you don't fit in the box. But being queer is something I've come to adore about myself. I came out as bisexual a little over a year and a half ago, and since then I've been able to more comfortably experiment with my self-expression in other ways as well. Femininity especially used to feel like a prison to me, and I rejected it for a lot of my life. But since coming out, I've realized how beautiful it can be when I utilize the parts of it that I find to be authentic to me. I've found my comfortable little corner of femininity to occupy, and with that also came my exploration of masculinity and the gray area in the middle. These kinds of social constructs can be difficult to break down, but I found a sense of fun in figuring out all the different ways I could display myself to the world. I've taken bits and pieces of all of these. I am definitely a mosaic of everything I've ever loved. The people, the places, I've allowed them all to take up space on the canvas that is me. So yeah.